Stay frosty and check out redzonecoins.com for the cheapest, fastest coins on the market. Use code DIRECTOR at checkout for 15% off.
Chargers fans, I don't even know where to begin. What kind of hell have we found ourselves in this season? I can't even begin to describe the disappointment. Instead, I'll share with you guys my personal reaction from the final moments of last night's game.
Let's go! Mike's down! Mike's down! Yeah! It's good! Woo! We did it! Woo! Oh my God.
What a wild roller coaster of emotions. The unfortunate, devastating roller coaster of emotions. It feels like one of those roller coasters from the Final Destination. It never ends well. Now, I really hate opening up a video like this. I really do. Because one of the reasons I actually started this channel was to support our team the best that I can, to the best of my ability. And my mama raised me to find hope, even in the darkest of hours. And honestly, it's shown through my personality as I've grown up. I'm a very optimistic person, sometimes to a fault. But man, the Chargers are making it very difficult. I know many of you in the comments, if not every single one of you, are diehard fans. I think the kind of person that is willing to look for Chargers content, to still want to hear news, reactions, information after another devastating loss like yesterday's, definitely deserves the title of diehard fan, even if you're here just to vent, which totally is okay. So I get it. I'm totally feeling the same thing you guys are feeling right now. Disappointment, pain, devastation, all of the above. It sucks. And it seems to return every single week. And what's even more sad is that this feeling is always met after the false hope and excitement of maybe winning. Like our hopes are always stretched sky high before being ripped out of our chest. Wow, that is cruel and unusual punishment. And it's hard. It's hard for anybody who loves the Chargers. And me, I'm just a guy on YouTube. What I'm feeling represents the emotions of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of fans. Yeah, I know I left myself wide open for a Chargers fan joke. Go ahead. But in reality, there are just so many of us. And all I can say at this point is that I'm sorry. I'm sorry all of us have to endure this every single week. It's horrible, and I can't even begin to describe the emotion behind it. But you know what? Yes, my mama did raise me better. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. Sure, I'll get mad in the moment. I'll get upset. I'm never going to hold that back from you guys because I think it's part of my job here to show you guys that you're not alone. My mission on YouTube was to bring as many of us as I could together in the same place to support, encourage, and inspire one another. Because in a way, we're kind of like family. And the biggest reason I know this is because all of us crazily just keep coming back. We keep hoping. We never give up on the Chargers, no matter how many validated reasons that they give us, no matter the noise surrounding this team on social media and NFL Network. We never give up on our Bolts. And for that, I gotta say, I appreciate every single one of you, truly. And in this video, I want to shine a light on the Bolts. I want to give us a reason to be optimistic again for the future and for the seasons to come. Because there really is hope, Chargers fans, and a lot of it. But you gotta know where to look and to be willing to step away from the drama for a few minutes. Now, this doesn't mean I won't be critical of this team when it's warranted. Oh no, sir. There are several things that this team needs to do in order to improve. And I don't mean that in a cruel, belligerent way. I cover these topics as a term of constructive criticism. Things I hope this team could do in order to improve. And in a way, it kind of creates a timeline of good decisions for Chargers fans to follow. If the team does, this, makes that move or whatever, at least we're on the right track to getting better. But I do need to remind you guys that I'm by no means an expert. I made this channel as a fan. I am not an analyst. I wanted to give fans a voice. I wanted somebody to talk to about my Bolts. I wanted to bring us together. But really, I'm not an expert. But I do love my Chargers, sometimes to a fault. And I like to think that I understand them more than your average NFL fan. So here we are. Now, that was probably the longest opener in the history of these videos, but I felt it was definitely important because right now, emotions are high, including my own. In this video, we're going to be going over the crushing, devastating Week 9 loss to the Vegas Raiders and discuss what the Chargers should do from here. But almost more importantly, I want to help guide fans back to the path of optimism because you may not believe me, but there's still a lot of hope to be found. Before we get started, guys, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this content. The small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification helps me out a lot. Let's get into this video. Lights, camera,
Action!
The Chargers have done it again. They've somehow found a way to clinch defeat from the jaws of victory. And at this point, I think Chargers fans are just tired. So very, very tired. And it's okay. Go ahead and vent in the comment section, guys. That's kind of what I'm doing to an extent in this video as well. And even though I think some of you may not feel like it, continue to defend the Chargers, at least against the Raiders fans, because I know we're going to see a lot of comments from Raiders fans in this video, guys. Don't give them the satisfaction. So what went wrong here? What should this team do to improve into the future? What should Chargers fans expect from this season and seasons to come? Well, let's get into it. This game went honestly almost exactly like I thought it would. If you guys remember from my game preview video, I predicted a score of 34-31 in favor of the Chargers. And you know what? It almost happened. If Parham came down with that ball, the score would have been 33-31 in favor of the Chargers. We were so close, so very, very close. But on the other hand, I also predicted that a victory was contingent on our quarterback play in combination with our defense. Now, one of those contingency was met by our quarterback, Justin Herbert. Man, is this kid good. Each week, I think to myself, he's got to slow down eventually, right? There's got to be a moment that we see something concerning. And every week, he just continues to prove the doubters wrong. If anything, he just continues to get even better. Now, I truly believe that this does give Chargers fans a reason to tune in on Sundays for the rest of the season. It's going to be because of Herbert. And that's okay for the fans. But for the team, it's going to take more than that. The team itself saw an epic implosion defensively this week. Holy cow. This is the first topic I do want to discuss is our defense. Wow, we are very bad. We are very, very bad on defense. And what's funny is that coming into the season, many people, including myself, thought that the defense was the best quality of the Chargers. Many expected us to be a top 5 defense in the entire league. And slowly, that dream crumbled away as we continued to give up 29 or more points to opposing teams every week. It's insane. Now, granted, the Chargers are without 2 of their best defensive players in Derwin James and now Joey Bosa. If they had been in this game, I can almost guarantee that we clutch it out at the end. But they weren't in this game, and we did end up losing. God, I hate reality sometimes. But it's not like the Chargers don't have any good players in their wake. Uchenna Nwosu has been absolutely spectacular in the absence of Melvin Ingram earlier in the year. Casey Hayward had a mostly elite first half of the year, and Kenneth Murray has flashed brilliance in the first half of the season as well. But we saw none of that this week. Matter of fact, we straight up didn't even see these guys on the field a lot this week. That's right, Uchenna Nwosu only saw about 12% of snaps this week. 12. I fully expected to see way more of that, having him step in at edge defender in Joey Bosa's absence. So why not? He's been solid when called upon, but he wasn't permitted to contribute most this game. Why? To me, that's just bad coaching. But it doesn't stop there. Kenneth Murray was also pulled from this game in several instances, only getting 52% of snaps. Why? I just don't get it. It's bad coaching. And this all spells to our defense being in serious trouble. Oh my God, and really quickly, our special team seems to be in equally bad of trouble, guys. One of the biggest swings in this game came from a muffed punt return by KJ Hill. Yeah, you guys remember that? Now, I'll admit the drive that followed, the defense definitely did step up, only allowing 3 points after the Raiders started in excellent field position. But still, how does this happen? Such a critical error on such a critical drive. If KJ had fielded that punt, or heck, even let it bounce, because from what I saw, it was heading out of bounds, the Chargers would have been able to win that game, or at least tie it from a field goal that drive, but it was messed up even before it began and we gave up 3 points instead. That's unacceptable. Now, also on special teams, before I do move on, we also do need to remember that Badgley missed another field goal, and those 3 points, those hypothetical 3 points, were critical to the Chargers' loss this week. I want to make sure that nobody forgets that. So yeah, the special teams unit is a mess right now, but from what I saw, the defense is still more concerning to me at this moment. Like I predicted, the Chargers' lack of pass rush was again very consequential. It's not a coincidence that every quarterback that we've played this year has looked spectacular against us, guys. I think it's come down to a science. Just like I said last week, it's because these quarterbacks keep getting too damn comfortable. During the game, I do remember tweeting this: "Blitz Kenneth Murray for the love of God." And a few plays later, we actually did that. And guess what? It worked. Derek Carr sailed the ball out of reach of Waller, and it forced a 4th down and a punt. And at this moment, I was like, yes, do it again. Because Carr is good, but does have one major flaw. Once he gets uncomfortable, he starts throwing erratically. But unfortunately for the Chargers, they didn't feel that it was necessary to blitz for pretty much the rest of the game. And that's pretty revealing of their entire season tendencies, because I think the Chargers are at the bottom of the leagues percentage-wise when it does come to blitzing. Like the very bottom of the league, like number 32. And that's crazy, because when they do send more than 4, I feel it works most of the time. So why aren't we drawing up more blitzes? Really? I mean, I get it. It takes some courage to send or to commit another player to the pass rush, but at this point, like, why not try it? we're 2-6. Oh, and speaking of 2-6, I do remember an instance that the Chargers punted on 4th and 1. I remember tweeting this comment at that moment. I was like, dudes, we're 2-5. You should never punt when you're 2-5, especially because of Justin Herbert. I feel like he gives you a statistical advantage to converting on 3rd or 4th down. Take every opportunity if you're not inside your own 30 or severely behind and losing momentum. You've got to go for it on 4th and short. So again, probably an example of bad coaching. I also do want to briefly cover the collapse of the Jack Boys, or the former artist known as the Jack Boys, because at this point it's pretty much non-existent. Its only surviving member is Casey Hayward, and he's shown a lot of signs of decline at this point in his career. He allowed 2 pretty critical deep passes in this game, one pass to Nelson Aguilar for a touchdown, and the other deep pass to Hunter Renfrow. Now, the first you could probably chalk up to raw speed. I just don't think Hayward can keep up with the kind of speed that Nelson Aguilar has. But the second, I cannot defend that second pass. Renfrow is definitely not the kind of player that you expect to beat anybody deep in coverage. And yet, it happened. But it wasn't just the big plays against Casey Hayward. This Chargers defensive backcourt has looked very porous over the last 4 games for sure. And sure, the Bolts pass rush wasn't giving him any favors, and the coaching staff, needs to mix it up a lot better than they have been. But still, I do think the play on a player's level was still pretty bad. But when it comes to the coaches, guys, your defense looks gassed. It looks sketchy and defeated, and you continue not to utilize your best players. Again, where's Uchenna Nwosu? Where's Kenneth Murray? You can't do that against decent offenses like the Raiders. So hopefully something is changed by the time we play them again in December, because this 8 division game losing streak, it has to stop. I'm done. But now let's start to tread our way back to optimism a little bit. I do have some constructive criticism here. We're briefly going to cover the offense, okay? Welcome to the Justin Herbert segment of this video, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for the most part, the offense did its job once again. They continued to be the highlight of this team, especially, newcomer Kalen Ballage. He showed up today. But this offense isn't without its faults. And yes, I'm talking about the offensive line. Earlier today, I saw a tweet by Pro Football Focus stating that Trey Pipkins logged the grade of almost 80. What? To me, a Chargers fan with eyeballs, it seemed pretty laughable, because what I saw was definitely not worth a grade anywhere near that high. Maybe he was decent in run blocking, but man, was he bad in pass blocking. At one point, I remember tweeting, "Chargers, please protect my quarterback." And this was after watching that play where Pipkins pretty much opened the door for Max Crosby to get a sack on Justin Herbert. It was a crunching sack too. And what's funny is that Pipkins was actually flagged on this play, and he still let that man in to destroy Herbert. I was livid. Like, for many instances this game, I thought Herbert was like in legit danger. Sure, Herbert worked with what he had and he did a great job, but there's really no excuse to be putting him in such terrible positions via our offensive line right now. It's just so frequent. Oh my God. And at one point, Herbert was on the ground in pain. The air was sucked out of the room, guys. I think me and all Chargers fans were like, well, this is it. Now, in the end, he was okay. He may have just gotten the air knocked out of him, but he did have to sit out a play. And that play was a 2-point conversion that was pretty critical at the time. He ended up giving the ball to Tyrod Taylor. 2-point conversion fails. That could have put the Chargers in range to at least tie the game with the field goal. I think most would believe that if Herbert is in for that play, we would have converted it. So here comes the surprising one, guys. Finally, I want to talk about the 2 final plays of this game, or rather the 2 final play calls of this game. Justin Herbert heroically leads his team downfield. A touchdown wins it. Against all odds, horrible management by the coaches included, the rookie puts us in prime position to clinch the game. 2nd and goal, almost no time on the clock. Herbert tosses up a goal line fade to Mike Williams. Touchdown! Right? I guess not. No fault to Williams. It looks like he took a nasty hit and dropped it out of bounds at the very last second. Dang. But you know what? There's still a second on the clock. It is not over yet. In this moment, I tweeted something. You can go check if you want. I said, this pass has to go to Keenan Allen, no matter what. You have one of the glitchiest, reliable, elite receivers in the league. These are the moments that you signed him for. Time to come in clutch. And what did the Chargers do? They line up in the same formation. Okay, maybe it's still going to be a slant or like a bubble screen to Allen. There's still hope. There's no way they don't trust Allen in this situation, but nope. As it turns out, the exact same play. Goal line fade to your right receiver. Okay, now I get it because lined up in that position was 6'8" Donald Parham, a player that I hope to see more involved in this game, but I would not trust him in this situation with the game on the line, okay? Regardless, Herbert tosses it up. Parham leaps, comes up with the catch, gets 2 feet and a knee inbounds, touchdown. Chargers fans cheer and holler and cry, but a second look, a different angle, a sweep of fate reveals that the ball came loose at the very last possible second. I'm dead inside. And minutes later, the refs overturn the call. Game over. Excruciating pain by all Chargers fans in the world. Now, I do need to say this. Some Chargers fans will say it was a catch. 2 feet and a knee inbound before losing control. That should dictate a touchdown, right? We even saw an example of this earlier in the day by the Ravens where it was indeed called a catch. So what makes this any different? I honestly couldn't tell you. But even if it was a blown call by the refs, I'll leave that to you guys in the comments to decide. I don't blame this loss on the refs or even Donald Parham. Nope. It should have never been him in the first place. It should have been to Keenan Allen. And I love Parham. I even stated in my last video that I want to see him more involved. But don't put your entire game on your 3rd string tight end, let alone on a goal line fade, which is one of the more difficult plays and risky plays to call in this situation. You just don't do that. In these situations, you call on your best player. Win or lose, this game should have come down to Keenan Allen. Bottom line, that is who you're supposed to trust in that situation. And this to me showed lazy play calling and once again, bad coaching. Probably one of the biggest examples of the year, in fact. Bad play call. And the Raiders win. Now I get it, guys. Things look grim. The Chargers are in horrible position to do anything for the rest of the season. The fans, the players, the coaches, we're all tired and withered down. Morale is low. And you know what? It's okay. It's a safe place here to vent. But I'm here to tell you there's still plenty to be optimistic about, guys. But I also realistically do need to tell you guys, and this is tough, but it's time to let go of our playoff hopes. There's still a chance, a sliver of a chance, seeing that the Chargers have been so close to winning all of the games that we've dropped so far, but that chance is razor thin at this point. And you know what? It's okay. Drop the weight and expectations of the playoffs. I think it's time. It's time we shift our focus to something else, something more important than getting to the playoffs, at least for this year. Because it's time to get optimistic, guys. It's time to tune in on Sunday and cheer on Justin Herbert. With all of our soul and passion, we need to cheer on Justin Herbert. Because I feel for so many Chargers fans, even regular NFL fans, Herbert's incredible rookie season has been overshadowed by the epic losses by the Chargers this year. Nope. It's time to cast that aside. Losses at this point are almost guaranteed. 6 straight losses tell me that we've got a problem up top, and that's something that Herbert has zero control over. You know what he can control? His path to the greatest rookie quarterback season of all time. Guys, this is something truly historic that we're witnessing, okay? In just 7 games, Herbert has done the absolute impossible. Here's his stats: 2,146 yards, 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I'm honestly blown away. Herbert has now broken into the top 10 quarterbacks for most yards in the season, and he is 2 games behind a majority of these quarterbacks. Right here, there he is. As a matter of fact, right now, Herbert's stat projection is at almost 5,000 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions for the year. And additionally, on top of that, Herbert has already played some of his most difficult opponents versus the quarterback already. 5 out of his remaining 8 games are coming against some very friendly defenses versus the quarterback. Chargers fans, listen to me. It's not out of the question to think that Justin Herbert could walk away from this season as the greatest rookie quarterback in NFL history. I'm not talking out my butt here. And what's even crazier is that his biggest competition for this title is coming from a guy in his same draft class. We got some competition here. Joe Burrow. And you know what? Burrow has looked really, really good for this season as well. Most would believe that they are competing for the title of Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think it's even bigger than that. And what's funny, let me highlight these 2 guys right here. You got Burrow, Rodgers, and then Herbert, right? What's funny is that Herbert has thrown for only 126 yards less than Burrow and has played 1 less game. Stack on top of that he has 6 more touchdowns at this point. That is massively impressive. There it is, 11 touchdowns to 17 touchdowns. That's ridiculous. Herbert will likely end this season better than Joe Burrow in every statistic possible, even having played 1 less game. It's that big, guys. So to my point, what do we do from here? What do we as Chargers fans do from here? We support the hell out of this kid. We tune in every Sunday and we root for Justin Herbert. Period. We pay attention to our team woes. We know we need to draft and/or sign offensive line help to help Herbert next year. We know our defense needs work, so we can help Herbert in that way as well. We sit, watch, and pay attention because, like we've all been saying all season, the future is bright. And even when it doesn't feel that way, the sentiment itself is true. The future is very bright, and it starts with Justin Herbert. Chargers fans, I call on you to stay strong, okay? Our playoff hopes are likely gone, but think of it as a weight lifted. Now we can focus on the future, and the future of the Chargers is without a doubt Justin Herbert. It is now our job to cheer him on as he continues to have the best rookie quarterback season of all time. Well, guys, definitely a longer video today. I mean, we're getting good at that, right? But I wanted to fully express to you guys my emotions and thoughts about where we are in the season, because last week I think it was pretty evident we're in trouble. This week kind of felt like a final nail in the coffin. I wanted to address you guys that it's all right, man. We got plenty to be optimistic about. We got plenty to look forward to. We got plenty to still cheer on because of our rookie quarterback sensation. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. If you like this content, hit us up with a like and sub on your way out. We will be seeing you next time, and as always, bolt up and stay frosty.